everybody. So today I'm going to start out using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I'm using that to prime my eyes, and I'm just using my finger to dab that all over my lid. And then I'll go in with my Morphe damp beauty sponge to just blend all of that out. And then I'm going in with the Morphe 35B palette, and I'm using that light blue right there, second from the top. And I'm going in with a Morphe M533. This is just a very fat, fluffy blending brush. And the reason I'm using this brush and going in with such a bright blue is because since I'm using this listen to me, since I'm using this brush, it's going to initially go in very, very lightly with the pigment, and it's really going to fan it out. It's not going to put the product too densely on our crease, if that makes any sense. So therefore the shadow is not going to be too bright. Now I'm doing the same thing on the other eye. I'm just going from inner to outer corner. I want the inside of the crease to be just as pigmented as the outer crease. And I'm just speeding that up for you. And then you will see that I'm going in with a denser brush, and I'm now going in with the MAC 217. And I am just putting that same exact blue color all in the inside of the crease. Windshield wiper motions going back and forth from inner to outer corner. I'm just brightening up that pigment. We are going from lighter to darker to darker to darker with our shades because we are doing a cut crease today, and I'm going back in with that Morphe M533 to really just smoke it all out. And then I'm going back in with the MAC 217, and I'm putting that back in the crease on the other side, same as the right eye. Inner to outer corner, windshield wiper motions, and then I'll use small circular motions to blend the rest out. And then I'll go back in with the fluffy brush to blend the rest out. Excuse me. I'm not feeling that well today, so if my voice sounds a little crackly, I've had a cold for like the last week. So now I am going in with, what brush was that? I think that's the Morphe M506. I have just recently discovered this brush, and it's such a good brush. And I am going in with Makeup Geek Neptune. And this is a very bright royal blue. I had to go in with it a couple times because the initial pigment is kind of light. It's not as bright as I wanted it to be. So I had to keep going in with it, keep going in with it, keep going in with it. And I'm also taking that from inner to outer corner, windshield wiper motions. You can skip this step if you want. You don't have to go in with this many blues. If you want to just do a light blue and then go straight in with a dark blue, you can. I'm just doing this initial step to bring more dimension to my eyes. I want lots of layers of blue. I want everything to be blended nicely. And always using a transition color will ensure that at the end of your look, you will have that nice blended effect. And I am just doing the same thing on the other eye. You'll hear me say that about 10 times throughout this video. Windshield wiper motions from inner to outer corner with the same Neptune color. And I'm just doing this until I get my desired darkness that I want. And then I'm going back in with the MAC 217, and I'm just blending, blending, blending to make sure that there are no harsh lines. And then I'm going to go in with that navy color in the same Morphe 35B palette. Oh, my voice is so crackly today. And I am going a little bit lower in that crease with that dark navy. And I am using just a regular Morphe blending brush. This one doesn't have a number on it because I got it from a Morphe brush kit that I got a couple of months ago. None of them have numbers on them, and I don't know why. But anyways, I'm taking that from inner to outer corner. You'll see me do this with all the colors that I use today. And I'm really just smoking that out, but I'm taking that a little bit lower in the crease than what I do with the other colors. And the reason I'm doing that is because you want to be able to see the definition of the colors that are below that. You don't want to keep packing them directly on top of each other because that's when you can start to look like you have a black eye. Excuse me. This cold will be the death of me. And I'm just, once I have no product left on the brush, I'm just going through and I'm blending everything out. And then I am going back in with that Morphe M506, and I am mixing that dark navy blue with that black that's at the very bottom right side of that corner of the same Morphe 35B palette. That navy wasn't as dark as I would have liked it to be, so I mixed the two together. That is why I did that. And I'm taking that brush and I'm putting that at the very, very bottom of the crease. That's where I want it to be the darkest. That way when we do our cut crease, you'll have that very dark color at the very bottom of the cut crease. And then you'll see it transition into those lighter colors. I wanted this look to be really, really smoky, but not too smoky. I still wanted you to be able to see all of the blues that I used without me looking like I have a black eye. So that is why I put that darkest blue at the very lower part of the crease. That way when you go in with that cut crease, again, like I said, excuse me, you can clearly hear in my voice that I am not meant to do a voiceover today. But anyway, you'll be able to see the dimensions of all the blues that I used. So now I am going back in with those navies and those blacks, and I am just touching up the crease. I'm making that my desired darkness that I would like. I am dropping everything. And then I'm just going in, back in with that MAC 217, and I'm just blending everything out so that we have no harsh lines. Now I'm going back in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and that is what I'm going to be using to cut my crease. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to use a very small Morphe brush, and this is, I'm not exactly sure what the name of it is. Let me see if it's got a number on it. This is the Morphe excuse me, M170, and that's what I'm cutting my crease with. This is a very, very precise little flathead brush, and I love this for cutting my crease. This was actually my first time using it for cutting my crease, but it worked wonderfully. It was so easy for me to get that line straight. It was so easy for me to flick that out, and I will forever use this brush for my cut creases from now on. Now I'm going in with the Morphe M224, and I'm just taking a tiny, tiny bit of Makeup Geek Blacklight. You can't really tell that it's Blacklight because it's like a duochrome, very light purple, but I just put that over the blue so that we'd have something to lay our glitters on top of. And then I'm going in with NYX Glitter Primer, and I'm putting that on the back of my hand, and then you will see that I'm just using a Morphe flathead brush to apply that glue. And I'm applying it very, very, very carefully and very tightly to my cut crease. I don't want to go over that crease, and I don't want to go too much below it because you don't want to see any blank lines that you may have missed with the glitter. And then I'm going to dip into an NYX glitter. And this glitter doesn't have a name. It's just a very pretty violety purple glitter, and it's got a bit of a teal shimmer to it, which I thought went really pretty with this look, although we're using mostly blues. But because it's got teal reflex in it, I figured why not just throw it in there for a pop of color. I zoomed in a little bit closely for you guys so that you could see exactly how I'm swiping this glue. I'm putting a very, very thin layer on it because when we open our eyes, we want this to be able to dry very, very sheer. We don't want to cake that glue on there because if you cake a big layer of glue on there and then you put the glitter on top of that, it's going to be a very long time before it dries. And then you're just going to have one big creasy mess, and we do not want that. So with that glitter, again, I'm just patting that on top of that glue. You can make it as transparent or opaque as you want. If you just want a thin layer of glitter, you can go with that. If you want a really thick layer of glitter, you can do that as well. Some people like to see their shadows through the glitter. I, on the other hand, I like to pack my lid with glitter. I am a glitter fan, so that is what I choose to do. Again, I'm going to go back in with that glue. And I am just using patting motions to justify that that will be a very thin layer of glue. Again, we don't want a thick layer. And then I'm going to go back on top of that with another NYX glitter. And this glitter is very, very beautiful. It's very fine. And this is very easy to apply. I've only used it a couple of times. I haven't used it in a very long time, actually. But I was very pleased with the way that it turned out. Now, it was very easy for me to put eyeliner over this. So I am dabbing that back and forth on the center of my lid, and I'm going a little tiny bit over that violet glitter just to ensure that it blends well. You don't want the violet glitter to just be like a harsh cut line and then go into the blue glitter. So again, I'm just going in with that glue, and then I'm going back in with that glitter, and I'm just going to pat, pat, pat until it's as opaque as I want it. And then I will go a little bit over that violet color again, just to ensure that it is blended, as you see right now. And I am taking my time with this, again, because you don't want to go over that cut crease, and you don't want to go too much below it. You don't want to see any blank spots that don't have any glitter on, because that is not cute on anyone. So now I am going to go in, oh, I zoomed back out, my bad. I'm going to go back in with that glue, and I am just going to draw out the corner of my cut crease where I want that glitter to go. I'm not going to draw out the entire corner at the bottom because I am going to go over the bottom of that outer corner with liquid liner later on. but I'm going back in with that same brush and I'm going to just dab the glue right there, and then I'm going to go in with a Bhcosmetics glitter, and this glitter is called Sapphire, and this is just a very dark sparkly navy blue. And again, I am just patting that over the other blue that we put on the center of the lid just to make sure that everything is blended and there's no harsh lines between those glitters. And I'm doing the same thing on the other eye. I'm just carving out the edge of my cut crease with that glue. And it's very, very easy to do with this brush too. It's a very flat head brush. It's very defined. It's not hard to, draw out a line with that brush. Excuse me, again for the 50th time. And then I'm just dabbing that glitter right back over that, and I'm blending it in with the lighter blue. And then I will take it to the outer corner, and I use a small compact mirror for this because, like I said before, you want to be very, very careful with this. You want to be very, very defined with this. You don't want your cut crease to be messy. You don't want glitter to be all up in your crease. You want it to be very defined and to stop where the cut crease stops. And then I'm just going in with a makeup wipe, and I am cleaning out that glitter from underneath my eye. And then I'm also using the makeup wipe to really sharpen up the corner of my eye and give me the shape that I want. Now I am going in with liquid liner, and this liquid liner is the L'Oreal Paris Carbon Black Lineur Intense Felt Tip Liquid Eyeliner. Woo, that was a mouthful. And this is in the color, I think I already said that, Carbon Black. Yes, I did. And I'm putting this in fast motion for you, only because it took me quite a while to get my liner as straight as I wanted it. But how I do my liner is I start from the inner corner, I just trace out that lash line, and then I will then start from the outer corner of my eye and draw a line up to the tail of my brow, and then I will just connect the lines later on. And then once you have your line desired to the length that you would like, then you just fill in the blank, and it's simple as that. You can use gel liner or liquid liner. I have more experience with liquid liner, so that's what I use. Now I'm going in with the Elcie Pearl Radiance Primer, and I'm just going to rub that all over my face and massage that into my skin. I have been loving this primer recently. It is amazing. And then I am taking the Hourglass Vanish foundation stick in this shade. Let's see, Warm Ivory is what I am in right now. And this looks very, very orange on camera. I don't know why, but I promise you this is my correct shade. And I am taking a Morphe M439, and I'm spraying some MAC Fix Plus on that, and I am just going to blend that all over my face. I need to get me another one of these brushes because this actually fell apart on me last week. The entire head of it came off, and I had to super glue it back on. But you can't tell in this video, I'm still using it, and I am pushing it to its limits because I love this brush for blending out this foundation, and I would never use another brush unless one just happens to come out that's better than this one, which I highly doubt it will. So now I'm just going back in with that Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I am putting a big fat layer of that underneath my eyes. And I am putting that under both eyes, a little bit on my forehead. I will draw a line down the bridge of my nose. I will put a little bit on my Cupid's bow and a little bit on my chin. I go pretty heavy with this concealer, although it is very full coverage. You don't have to go heavy with it if you don't want to, but I'm in love with it. I love how it makes my skin feel. I love how it covers up my dark circles. It covers up any imperfections that I have. If I even have blemishes on my chest or my shoulders or on the side of my face, I will put it there too because it covers everything up. It is amazing. It is my holy grail. So I'm just using my damp Morphe sponge to blend this out as usual. I use the pointy end for blending underneath my eyes to really get into those corners, but I use the fat butt part of it. Fat butt, yeah, that's what I call it, to blend out the forehead and the chin because it covers a lot more ground, and I find it easier that way for me to use that side of the brush, and it does the job a lot quicker than a Real Technique sponge or something that doesn't have a fat bottom like this one does. Now I am just going in with that same damp Morphe beauty sponge, and I am dipping that into my RCMA no color powder, and I am just dabbing that underneath my eyes to set and bake my eyes. I will leave that under there for a little while. And then I will go in with the Morphe M523, and I'm using the Too Faced bronzer in the shade Chocolate Soleil. This is a medium/deep matte bronzer, and it smells like chocolate, and I love it. I'm just going from the tip of my ear down to the corner of my mouth. I'm not taking this all the way down to the corner of my mouth, but in that general direction, and then I'm just blending that upwards. You do not want to blend downwards because that defeats the entire purpose of contouring. Then I will take a little bit and put it on the corners of my forehead. I'm not bringing that down to my temple because I don't want the face to look enclosed. I'm trying to open the face up and make it look more, you know, bring the attention to the eyes. You don't want this face that's too bronze. You don't want to close that in. You want that very wide-eyed, cat-eyed effect with this cut crease. And then I am taking a Morphe M458, and I am just going to carve a small line under my contour just to make that a little bit sharper to my liking. You don't have to do this. This just makes it look a little bit more structured. And then I'm just taking a flat-headed Kabuki Morphe brush, and I'm just brushing all of that away. And I will brush away the bakage under my eyes as well. And then I'm going in with the new Morphe 9N, I believe this is, the blush palette. And I'm going in with that top middle shade. And this is just a corally, really pretty pinky shade. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it, but it's mostly matte. And it's very, very neutral. I love it. I'm just applying this with a Morphe angled brush. This one does not have a number. And then for my highlight, I'm going in with the Artist Couture Diamond Glow Powder in the shade Coco Bling, and I am using a Morphe fan brush for this. This one does not have a number either. It came in that same brush kit. I don't know why they don't have numbers. I guess just the ones in the kits don't come with numbers. I'm not too sure. And then I'm taking a little bit of that and putting it down the bridge of my nose. This highlight wasn't as, it didn't show up as well on camera as I thought it would. It was very, very blinding, which I loved, but again, it barely showed up on camera. So now I'm going in with the Moonchild Glowkit by Anastasia of Beverly Hills, and I'm going in with that first shade. What was the name of it? Blue Ice, and I'm just putting a little bit of that over that highlight just to give it a little bit of blue sheen. And then I'm speeding up the process of my mascara because you guys already know how to do this, and I am going in with not Soleil lashes, that's what I always wear, silly. I'm going in with the Flutter lashes in the style Intoxicating this time, and these lashes are bomb. Oh my gosh, I love these so much. These brought my eyes out like intense with this cut crease. The Slaylas are my favorite, my all-time favorite, and I could probably wear those like on a daily basis, you know, anywhere you go. If you want to go to church, if you go to dad's house, if you go to meet your boyfriend's mom, whatever. No, but really, those lashes are amazing, and these lashes are probably my new favorites. But Slaylas will always be at the top of my list. But anyways, I'm just doing this in fast motion as well. I'm just taking that same liquid liner and I'm going over the band of that lash to hide that glue. You don't want any glue showing because that is not cute. And then I'm going in with MAC Amplified Lipstick in the shade Give In, and then I will go in with Marc Jacobs Sugar Sugar Lip Gloss on top of that. Sugar Sugar is my favorite lip gloss ever. This lip gloss can be worn by itself. It can be put over a nude gloss. You can put it over like a pinky gloss. You can put it over a mauve gloss. It is just such a universal, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gloss. And then I'm just spraying my entire face with some MAC Fix Plus to make sure that this makeup stays on forever. And then that completes this look, guys. I hope that you love it, and I will see you next time. So please subscribe and like this video. Love you. Mwah. You make me